Hey, thanks for clicking in. It's Amy McGrady, your premier real estateologist. Guess what I'm going to be talking about today? Pompano Beach. That's right. So, Pompano Beach is a fabulous little independent municipality along the Atlantic Ocean, north of Fort Lauderdale Beach, Lauderdale by the Sea, and then comes Pompano Beach. So, it's between Fort Lauderdale and West Palm. Fabulous little city in a real renaissance right now. So on this video, I'm gonna let you know what's going on, what's happening in Pompano Beach these days. But before we get to the meat of the video, I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel, like the video, share the video if you know anybody thinking about Pompano Beach or South Florida. You get a lot of bang for your buck in Pompano still, and there's still growth to come. So you can get in at the beginning of some really good stuff. So yeah, subscribe, like, share my video, hit the little bell so you can get all the other videos. I used to be a real estate attorney, and now I'm a real estate agent out of the office into the streets to help you find the best deal for you in South Florida. So without further ado, let's see what's going on in Pompano. I did a little research, so I'll have some notes for us to look at in addition to a map. And if you want more info when we finish the video or at any point, just hit me up in the comments, text me, WhatsApp me, reach out to me, whatever way you prefer, and I will get you more information. Believe me, it's what I do. Okay, so here we are on the map of Pompano Beach, Florida. I love how they name these little cities and towns after fish. So Pompano's a fish. So is Margate. There's just some interesting little towns in South Florida named after fish. Because why? Because we love to fish. There are more things besides just laying on the beach and drinking cocktails. Some people fish, some people swim, some people sell real estate. Yeah, that's me. All right. So that's Pompano Beach. If I zoom out, you can see where it is in relation to Fort Lauderdale, Boca, West Palm's further north. So let's see what new projects have been going on in the past few years to change Pompano Beach. Let me see, I did a little research. I'm going to bring this up. Now I gotta... So we've got public and private development going on, and the public stuff is really cool. They're reestablishing Old Town because Pompano currently really doesn't have a downtown as we all envision a downtown to be, and as like Fort Lauderdale does, and West Palm Beach and Miami, they all have clear, definite downtown areas. Pompano's always been like a bedroom community of Fort Lauderdale, and it's a beach community primarily, even though it does go inland. And they just never really had a downtown because it was more about places to live and your work was elsewhere, Fort Lauderdale or Miami. So the public project that they're building is the downtown, the Old Town area, which is pretty cool. It's already started. The old buildings along Dixie Highway and Atlantic. Remember, if you watched one of my other videos on Pompano Beach, the barrier island, I explained that Atlantic Boulevard is the north-south divider line in Pompano Beach. So the old downtown is right at the corner of Atlantic and Dixie Highway, which has pretty much been the commercial street in Pompano Beach, and somewhat industrial as well. That's changing a little bit, and they're preserving the buildings from the original settlers and business people in Pompano Beach, converting some of them already into art spaces. And they have on the first Friday of every month, it's called First Fridays in Pompano, Old Town. They have artists come out and food trucks come out, and it's a nice event. So that's kind of already starting, and now it's going to progress. So let me see if I have something in there. So the new downtown Pompano Beach. I'll take you to the website, Pompano Beach website. to show you what it's going to look like. So they're building a new city hall. They're going to have all these residential units, probably rental to begin with, and all of this pedestrian-friendly space with creative space, retail space, and probably some hotel units. So pretty, huh? And then there are videos and roundtable discussions and minutes to meetings and interviews with some of the people that have been making this happen. So it's pretty cool. It does not look like this right now. It looks like historic buildings, and this is a huge change. So I can't wait for it to be done. So if I go back to and it's going to be done like over the years. The target end date, because it's going to be done in phases, is 2036. So it's going to take a while. 2034. So it's a $2 billion project, 75-acre master redevelopment, including the new city hall, the cultural arts center, library, civic plaza, mixed-use zones, phase 1 civic buildings targeted for completion by 2034. There's also already on the other side of Atlantic, on the other side of where this project's going to be, a performing arts center, which is beautiful. So that's the pending or under development projects, public, through the CRA, which is Community Redevelopment Authority. This one's led by the CRA. The Pier streetscape and Pier parking garage and Atlantic Boulevard Bridge is ongoing CRA infrastructure enhancements around the Pier district, which is the district that's kind of showing behind me. It's on the ocean, and it's the pier that goes out. Really fun, just beautiful. Walk out on the pier, do some fishing if you like, relax, listen to music, and then walk over to the restaurants. There's the beach house and a couple of others, and ice cream shops and BurgerFi. And there's a lot of cool stuff to do on the beach in Pompano in this publicly developed area. What else do we have here? Public. So they've completed already the Pompano Beach Replacement Library and Cultural Center, that beautiful building. And what they did was they built this new library with teen tech studios and electronic media labs, and they lease it to Broward County. So that's cool. They're bringing in some revenue from the county. There's the Old Town Square apartments. There's a few of them that already started, and they're along Dixie Highway and that Arts District area. They're already built, and they're fabulous, brand new apartments. Solimar Residences, that's 105 unit boutique oceanfront condo. So isn't that something? I didn't realize that. They're very nice as well. And then, as we talked about, the Pier parking garage and streetscape. Private development that's already finished, sort of, is the Festival Flea Market Mall. That's out by the turnpike, a little bit further west, away from the water. It was an old mall from the 1980s. It was foreclosed on. Somebody bought it, and they're reopening it as a private flea market, and it's still operating. And that's an indoor flea market. So if you sell stuff and you like making money by selling schmatas, go to the flea market, go get a booth at the flea market there. It's air conditioned, and it's a fun activity to do. If you don't want to work it and you want to enjoy it, you get some bargains. And then of course there's Harrah's Pompano Beach. That used to be the racetrack. It used to be the Isle Casino, and now Harrah's is done. Topgolf is done. And they're still working on some residential units and retail units. That was public. Then private, what we have going on are Oceanfront Tower at 900 North Ocean. So North Ocean is A1A, and North Ocean is north of Atlantic Boulevard. So there's 119 residents under construction. It says estimated completion date 2024, but they haven't completed it yet. So there's still the Oceanfront Tower left. CubeSmart, that's almost finished. And again, if you see self-storage facilities going into any place, then you know growth is there. And that's on McNab, which is off the ocean again and closer to Dixie Highway, which is the more commercial and industrial area. Entourage in the Sun, that's almost finished. It's a 42-unit condo project. GLC 22nd, that's inland too. GLC 22nd is inland as well. It's mixed use, 70 units plus office. That should be completed this year, 2025 or 2026. And then we move to the projects slated for development on the ocean, and that is the Armani Casa residence, a 19-story luxury condo. It's groundbreaking this year, completion 2028. Then we have the Waldorf Astoria, that's broken ground and in progress. The Ritz-Carlton residences in progress. The W Hotel in progress. They haven't broken ground yet. The Casa Mar, Ocean 580. These are condo towers that are going to be oceanfront, right on the sand. Sky Beach Townhomes, Salato is another beautiful development. And these are already listed for sale pre-construction. So if you're an investor and you like just locking them down pre-construction and then assigning the contract, that's an option. Or you can lock them down pre-construction and get ready to move down here and enjoy it when they're finished. Let me see, we've got Patagonia, mixed use in downtown. That's a 32 units plus commercial under city review. So we'll see how that one goes. And another 24-story condo hotel on the beach. So that's what I found going on in Pompano. There's a website called Yimby. It's where I get a lot of this info, plus from the city websites. So here the city website's showing you projects going on. The McNab House and Botanical Gardens. That's cool, because McNab was one of the settlers of Pompano Beach, and they've saved a couple of the houses. So that's probably going to be on Atlantic, just east of US 1. Completion date to be determined. Let's see what the details say. They don't show you the house, but it's cool. There it is. So that's one of the settlers of Pompano Beach named McNab. So let's see. The cultural heritage of Pompano Beach goes back to 1908, and it's the second oldest city in Broward County. The first oldest is Dania Beach, Florida. That's closer to the airport. Pompano's a little north. So over the decades, there have been countless historic buildings demolished and replaced with new construction. The McNab family and the Community Redevelopment Association saved the old McNab house. It used to be a little bit closer to Dixie Highway, inland a little bit. Now they actually moved that house. They, whoever they are, the people that move houses, they actually moved that house to its current location just east of Federal Highway. So they moved the house, they're putting it all back together because some of the bricks fell, and then it's going to be like a museum, which is pretty cool. There are a couple of these houses in Pompano. And then they're going to have botanical gardens around it because it's a nice piece of property. And then, botanical gardens, you can go do the touristy thing. It's probably going to be set up as like a wedding and party venue, really centrally located, so that should be nice. So the house was built in 1926. Thank God it wasn't wood. So that's what it looks like now in its new location. Here's an overview. Yeah, event pavilion. So I'm sure you can book parties and weddings and whatnot. A restaurant, a kitchen, event pavilion, classroom. Great. Yeah, it's going to be nice. Let's see, site plan review is It's slated to go through the end of this year, October. Still waiting for construction drawings. Then we're going to start the bidding process to get that done because it's going to be a public project. And completed, hopefully, December 2027. So that's cool. Let's see, let me back button this and see what else we find. See, I love pounding around these city websites to get information. Pompano Beach Fishing Village, that's done. So we talked about that. That's one of the projects that they did where you have a bunch of restaurants and the pier and the businesses. So here's before and after. That's cool. That's what it looked like before, which was nothing. And that's what it looks like now. There's about 4 terrific restaurants in there. And those restaurants, you actually sit in your chair on the sand and just like let the sand go in your toes. And the food's really good. And if you don't want sand in your toes, they have tables and they have the second floor. This one here even has like a rooftop bar. It's really cool. And that's what the pier looks like. If you want these links, just let me know. I'll find them and get them to you. So yeah, like I said, we've got ice cream places. We've got Oceanic, that's the other restaurant. We've got ice cream places, restaurants, BurgerFi, the beach houses. That's the great restaurant I was telling you about where you can just sit in the sand. See what else is going on in Pompano. So the McNab Botanical Gardens is the only current city project going on besides the downtown that we talked about, Old Town. The Pier streetscape was done, Atlantic Boulevard bridge improvements. I mean, look how pretty that is. So when you go over Atlantic Boulevard, this is going west to downtown, the soon to be, and this going this way on the bridge is going to the beach. But look how pretty it is with the sails and the lights. It's a nice project. Pier parking garage, which is a pretty garage. Downtown, current projects, downtown, Old Town, and Civic Commons. That's building the City Hall, the Old Town, and the downtown. I love the Old Town. Right now, that's about what it looks like. Yeah. So I guess this is going up. This is the other one that I was telling you about that's already built. South Bar and Kitchen. And there we go. So Dixie Highway and Atlantic. See, it's right there. So Dixie's are east-west. So Old Town is set about 7 acres. And on the other side of Atlantic, down here where I'm moving my cursor, is where City Hall and the Performing Arts Center is. This is the Old Town District. I'm so glad they're preserving it, and hopefully they'll stick to the plan and make it affordable for artists. Here's the downtown that we were talking about, the new City Hall and all the pedestrian-friendly mixed-use projects. Civic Commons, that's the south of Atlantic as well. The government complex, the Cultural Arts Center that's already been built there recently. See how pretty that is? And they're doing it in phases because they're huge projects. They're quite beautiful. And then they have the past projects, but you're here to talk about what's going on. This is what is happening now, which is still pretty awesome. So that's what we had from the city. But what I was going to say is, let's get out of here. My little thing. There's this publication that I get by email called Yimby, My Yimby. Have you heard of Yimby and Nimby? It's either Nimby is not in my backyard, and Yimby is yes in my backyard. So naturally, the Yimby publications are pro-development, because yes in my backyard. You know, don't get me wrong. I mean, the city gets their share of members of the community that object to the development, but you know what? It happens. There's Yimby, Fort Lauderdale, Yimby, Miami, Yimby, Florida. Go to Florida, see what we got. Okay, Fort Lauderdale. I wonder if they have a Yimby, Pompano. Don't know. But pay attention to those Yimbys. I'm kind of falling back on Fort Lauderdale. I was going to do Pompano. See if we can search Pompano. Search Pompano. Beach, because this Yimby and Nimby is in New York, Utah, everything. All right, look at that. Search results for Pompano Beach on Yimby, yes, in my backyard. So this is a good source to see what kind of development's going on besides your regular real estate industry rags. So we've got Atlanta-based Portman Holdings intends to move forward with an 8-story project in Pompano Beach, 8-story mixed use at 2400 East Atlantic. There's Casamar, so that one's almost done. That's one that we mentioned. Beautiful, huh? The renditions are nice. Oh, here we go. The tower topped off last July. The Solemar. This was an article from December 2024, Cross Creek Apartments. 302 unit complex on North Federal. That was done. That's a nice rental. And this Salato, I love this Salato building. It's gorgeous. It's fabulous. 9-story. So they got a $73.8 million construction loan. This is from 2024, this article. It's finished now, and it is just gorgeous. So there's 40 condos. They're going to measure between 2,100 and 3,300 square feet. They're all going to be 3-bedroom, 3.5 baths. With that ocean pool, that's what it actually does look like now. So anyway, I just wanted to bring up Yimby. So there's Florida Yimby. There's New York Yimby. So wherever you live, just kind of get to Yimby, and then you can see what's going on. And this is interesting. New York Yimby. Oh, because it's a New York hotel owner that went into Miami to build a hotel near the airport. Interesting. Because I'm still in the Florida Yimby. Anyway, you get the point. South Flagler House in West Palm. I'll do West Palm on another video, but what do you believe in? Yimby or Nimby? What do you prefer? Yes, in my backyard, pro-development, or not in my backyard? Leave it alone. I don't want all this. We have those two schools of thought, especially in Florida. And it's always been that way in Florida because people just keep coming. But people go too. The ones that are NIMBY, they're like, okay, enough, I'm leaving. And the people that are YIMBY are like, we're coming. So I hope you've enjoyed this short little video on what's going on in Pompano Beach. You got the works in progress, you got the matters that are already done. And Pompano Beach is pretty amazing space. I mean, so close to the Atlantic Ocean, just quieter than Fort Lauderdale, which is fine. You know, we all like that sometimes. But there are some fabulous new developments going on, both public and private, on the beach, inland. So pay attention and don't overlook Pompano Beach. And if you're interested, or your friends are interested in Pompano Beach, a little quieter lifestyle, at least for now, share this video with them. And if you want to help my algorithms, please subscribe to my station and hit the little bell to get notified when I do new videos. My goal is to give you 2 a week. And that's about it. Thanks for listening. I appreciate your time, as always. And I hope you have a lovely day. And if you're watching this in the evening, I hope your evening is going great. And I hope you enjoyed my video. Thanks again. Peace.